А это работает? Да. И работает.
Hello, everyone. Hi. Thank you for coming all the way down here. Well, there is so many of you. Well, are you all 10 stars? Okay, I'm just taking a moment, looking at you here, contemplating, because it gives me quite a kick, a unique kick, because I think we talked about it 2 years ago or so, because back then you weren't millionaires, and it's been 2 years, and here we are. Well, in our cafe of financial snacks is a very good place with tasty meals. And today, there is no special fixed plan, which I love. I'm in my element when it happens, when there is no plan. I mean, there are some things that I would like to go over, some points on my agenda. My job is to do this, is to captivate not only your soul and spirit, so to say, but also your money. And you know what I mean. And I haven't thought about what I can do with your body. Maybe I should put some electric bracelets, tasers on you to electrocute you every now and again. But anyways, to be serious, we have created now in this environment of information, which we would never have gotten to had we not come all this way. I think you've all seen the video about our plan for the next 25 years, and it is real. It is a reality. It's all together with partners who I'm going to introduce you to, mapped it out, this plan, and it came about in very simply. I mean, sometimes I find myself, kind of in a daze, but I love it. It's in a good way. I'm kind of looking at one point. And when I was a kid, my mother and my father would always kind of interrupt this process, but I never do it when I see my kids in this state. Their eyes glaze over, and you start seeing kind of pictures in front of your eyes, believing that it is all real. And the first thought that comes to mind is, why? How is it that you managed to plan out high-risk investments, our indexes, our CTI, so much loved? You did it successfully, but why not take the same approach to some other things? And then I thought, it's a cool thought, and the next thought was, why not do it right now, like here and now, and even if we mess up, we were still going to keep our money. And then I remembered my first rule. First, you have to try, and then you will figure it out, the rule of the first step, by diving or throwing yourself into something. So I believe that the next 25 years could be basically our own model of our own reality. Yes, we could fail somewhere, or we could finish some of the things in this plan in the next 30 years, but still we will have our businesses and we will have our money and we will find lots of new information and things. And when I realized that, I started meeting the right people and the right things started happening. And today we'll be talking to one of our partners who basically provides lots of our financial payments, our instruments, and now I believe that all that we have can be reinforced tenfold by combining money with your soul. Now we have 200 persons, give or take. Imagine there being 200 people with intentions. It's all there to make money. So how can I reinforce you, I think? Maybe you don't understand all of the things that I have in mind, but still thank you for the trust, for believing what I offer you, because sometimes you may be somewhat reluctant, but then soon you join me, and you're free to take it at your own pace, and it's like magic, like creating an intent or an intention and starting to move toward it. Oh, this little girl also 10-star, but my mother is a 9-star, so the kid beat her there. Anyways, so we're going to try and do that, and I believe there are enough microphones for live communication. So let's picture this as a business meeting, and you'll get your chance to take the floor and make your proposals. And I would like to also plan out the motivation of your partners who are not here, and I want to motivate them to make star 10. It's a strong intention, so basically what I'm going to do is this. If you were a star 10, you would get this and this and this, and you would get this chance to make these investments. Okay, so you know how to be making money now. It's clear. And now we're more or less clear on how we're going to make money tomorrow. And then this is the timeline, and these are the things that we need to take care of. I believe lots of you have enough money to live, to make it through the next year. But what about the year that comes after the next? These things may still be up in the air. Well, we know we can trade, we have that skill, we're growing, our team is growing, and our set of instruments is growing, but relying only on that would be infantile. So I believe we should explore new things to expand our projects in terms of creating things, in terms of creation. And one of the projects that I will be presenting tonight has to do with developing our systems and advancing them. And some standalone businesses, but all is the world. You know what I'm talking about is gold. And I'll be talking to a partner that can beef up our PR area. So, and bring us more hype. First, I'll tell you about the first project that I'm planning to make money off of soon. The second project in 1.5 years, I think. And we have them under control. And then I'll introduce you to basically how we're going to invest. So we are now tapping into venture financing. Venture, the classical way of looking at it is that venture is money and you're not sure whether you will get it back. So our model would be like this huge provocation on the market of investments. So we have a few projects. This project requires this amount, this amount, 3 units of something, 5 units or something, 7 units of something, or 12 units of something. But so we have these 4 projects which require some financing. And this leads us to a fund. A fund is not a legal term, but basically it's some amount of money focused on one purpose, the same purpose, to finance these ventures. I mean, so what I want is that a partner who is making money now to be able to design their own financial future based on a number of attempts, not through the instruments that you have, but the future instruments. So, and I want the number of projects to go up to 100, not 5 or 6. So even if 2 of those, skyrocket, they like exponentially, you will rest assured that they will take care of you financially in 20 to 25 years. And which one do you think of these projects will fly like a rocket? Nobody knows, no way of knowing. So there is something else I'm going with. I'm going with statistics, and I'm going on with some control of my team, and I'll explain. So we have 2 groups of projects. we're dividing these into two projects, the ones that are under our control, because when you know your team, when I know my team and how they are doing business with us, I tell them that I'm part of this business, I'm controlling it, and you will know it. Of course, there will be specialists, experts handling them, but I will be bearing the risks of this if this project falls through, and some projects not under my control, like in some foreign state. We can work many things out, but if it's in a foreign country project, there are some risks because one person may go and another person will come. There could be a coup d'etat. The exchange rate risk is also there. So there are some risks that are beyond our control. But I'm interested. I have a stake in this project. I'm a public investor, so if I invest in it, I accept them. And I tell you, I have accepted those risks and feel free to accept them also. But I believe those guys are smart ones. And there are a number of advantages, which I will describe. You will see when I get to that. And then it is up to you to decide whether you will want to transfer some of your venture funds into it or not. And I will tell you now how it will work. But I'm limited only to 24 hours per day, and I cannot run 100 projects. 3 or 4 would be tops, like under the Doronin brand or under my team, and they will be responsible for that. The other ones would be IPOs or IPO-like projects where I know the roadmap, where I know how they will work, but they won't be under my control. So if something goes wrong, I won't be able to take back the resources that I invested. Now I'm coming back to this red ball. What is this? I'll explain. So once it takes shape, and let's imagine that it costs 10 million, and it's there to finance the projects that the user chooses inside Zig. Now you need to make it happen technically. So this is how you're going to do your choosing. So if you want to have your venture fund to the tune of $10,000, you transfer it, and basically you decide, you choose your projects, the ones that you like. If you don't like some of the projects, you won't have to invest in them. And then this fund is closed once it's enough to finance the roadmap of a project, which is this. Any project under our control is divided into some stages, like it has a payment system to it, and it's like this software, some agreements with some payment systems like Visa or MasterCard, or some agreements with some banks and some bank accounts. So it entails some work when it comes to that. And so this roadmap has to have each of its stages financed. The problem with ventures is like this. We issue an IPO or an ICO, money is raised, and then it turns out that the legal team really messed up at this stage, but the money was gone, and then they announced that the project has turned out to be a dud. So maybe you have been involved in some similar things before, and we all know that this is like the problem of any venture. Even if it's a good venture and they have good intentions about some product, even when, say, when 70% of money has been used up, the results only amount to 50%, and they need additional financing for that. But we will do it like this. There are some things that can't be touched, and this is the income. This is there. So what we make it off of that, it goes to finance this, and this goes to finance that. And this is the model, business model, that will allow you this. Even if one of the projects goes dead, like because of an incompetent team or something else goes south, you will still keep the money that you invested into this venture. It's a risky model because you know that there are no big guarantees there, but it's less risky than just investing your money into some random venture. I love the IPO market. I take interest in it, and once we announced that, we started getting proposals from different IPOs companies. Some of them were pseudo, some are real, which are there to drive capitalization. But I interested in IPOs that create projects which can be sold for a long time following the completion of the project. So we have two of them, under our control and beyond our control. And we need to have a starting point here, a starting point. Okay, we got this down. Now let's take a look at project 1. Could you show me the slide that I asked you to put together 2 minutes before I walked onto the stage? Okay, so all in all, yesterday when we were discussing the second project with the guys on the second team, digital gold is what I called it. Will be under our control. It will be mining this digital gold. And one of their slides talks about management of wealth. So what we're doing today is we're managing our own wealth. It's not some term from a course of financial literacy, which may seem so distant and remote. This is exactly what we're going to do here, designing our own wealth in the next 1.5 to 2 years, and we will be extrapolating this approach to IPO projects that should start paying off in 4 to 5 years. So this is what we're going to be talking about today in the main topic. So this is project 1, gold. I touched upon it in passing at the Club 10. However, there is some updated information that I want to share now. Imagine this. Imagine a country or a state. And let's say this state, well, is somewhere on the globe, obviously. I can't name the country yet, and I'll clarify. We have big agreements with the managers of this project, a really known figure in the very well known by stock exchanges in Europe and in the US. We haven't signed the documents yet, the papers, and I cannot disclose his or her name, and everything that this person has told us is real because we've done all necessary due diligence. So this is why I'm keeping this name undisclosed for now. But so imagine this. Imagine a country like Qatar, for example. And in Qatar, all the gold moved where the oil is. And this is why Qatar is Qatar. So this country has it all there. And it needs to be mined, so to say. Something that we could have. We are investors, and we know that we will be taking risks, but we could help all that with a discount of 40 to 60%. So this is a project which implies that we may place our own, digger. When I say miners, everybody starts, visualizing or picturing cryptocurrency miners. No, I'm talking about real miners, like the classic definition. And the goal behind this project is this. There will be like land plots, basically being given away for a very small amount. And this country wants to be the second Qatar. There is oil and gas and platinum in that country, not so deep, buried not so deep, and it can all be mined through specialized companies, professional companies. Our interest here is this. We are no experts on gold mining, but we have this idea. How do we come up with a coin that would equal 1 gram of gold? So, combining the old economic theory, which you know, with the latest economic theory. However, the upside here is this. So 1 token equaling 1 gram of unmined gold. basically constitutes an opportunity for it to grow once it's mined. So it's mined, it's in the form of a bar. And the reason how I came to this is this. I'm no pro, but this is how I came to this as an entrepreneur. It's mined as sand, then it's basically molded into a bar. Then it is, certified, I think is the term, because it has to have enough nines and a special status, purity-wise and chemical composition-wise. Once that's all is done and confirmed, then that little bar could have 1,000 grams of gold or 1,000 tokens. So, but gold, when it's not mined, it's cheaper by 50 to 60%, and this gives us the volatility that we need. So because this gold will never be cheaper than gold, but if you buy it today and then if you sell it tomorrow, this is your interest, because it's like futures for future gold. Unmined gold, it gives you this X growth, or at least 40%, not 50, 40. Because instead of digging 1 meter down, you might have to go 3 meters down into the ground to find it, because there is excavation works, but exploration has been done and it confirms that there is gold. People are saying, yes, the project is very good, it could be a major one, and it could grow. But the reason why it interests me is that if we tie to that purchase of token through the FNK, we could get some more growth in terms of our own token. So people would have to do this. So they will have. So this person now thinks that if a person thinks that if you invest $1 million, it could be worth $1 billion in a year. And this token, because of volatility and interest, and this person that we are going to run this project with has a reputation on the stock exchanges, on licensing markets, has some pull with regulators because of his persona, so to say. And my interest here is this. For me, it will be opening something new in an old field. I've never done gold, so to say, but I have no idea how it works. And it would give my team an opportunity to see the FNK really grow exponentially if we were to tie the growth of these tokens to that through the FNK. We're still working on that, but 1 gram of unmined token will equal 1 gram of gold, and once that unmined gold, once that gold is mined, it will grow. So even if I invest, I will make at least 40%. If it's more, it's super profits. You can't influence that. You can't manage or control that. But it could be 200. There could be 200 of us or 300 of us 10-star partners. Maybe we could influence the prices through our business, but this is the basics. And this is the investments and how much you could make and when it can happen. So, and now the capacity of the wells, mining wells, is not, or fields, is not defined. And but we have some rough idea of the amounts to be mined. I will announce that later. So now, if we pull together some fund for this project, the first money will go to it this week, because I can already start transferring my own funds to him right now for us to sign the contract and start the work. And Zygmunt will soon take the floor and tell you about the mechanism of profit. So, this is the first project. Now, if you have any questions, feel free. Maybe you've been through the same thing or similar things, and the people who are tuning in through the broadcast, online broadcasts are also free to listen, because this would now we can all basically benefit from that. Is it all clear? Because I mean there are a lot of things that I'm still not clear on. Okay, go, you go ahead. Am I right in understanding that our money as private investors will go to a pool that is 100% refundable or returnable? Yes, exactly. Yes, you said in your own words, but see, even if all stock markets go down, we won't be able to keep our word. But we won't be waiting for any money from the venture, and even if the venture goes down, goes under, we will pay you back through our investment, through our stock exchange business. So this money can be refunded within 1 year. Am I right? Well, see, you've been in it for 6 months. You're following the roadmap. If you don't like the way it's going, you can move your pool to some other project. You can take the money out of one project and put it in another. But we are really tying ourselves to 2 projects that I'm presenting today. But if we sign soon another contract, there will be another big story. So if some of the projects kind of slow down, we could basically move our interest to a different pool. And within this pool that we are putting together for financing, you just choose another one, and you won't be involved in the first one. So it's 100% refundable, right? And I can move it, not at any moment, but there have to be some rules. Yes, there will be some rules. Okay, so I can move it to some other project if you lose faith in it. So, okay, maybe after a few presentations, you realize that this project has no bright future. Maybe it's really slow, spinning its wheels in the sand, and maybe I will just go out and tell you and announce it to you. Well, this project is about to go under. I'm sorry. So, but there will be a mechanism put in place for you to decide whether to stay with the venture or not. And well, it's the bomb. This is the bomb. Well, it's either the bomb or it's just a great chance for you to keep developing yourselves and growing. Okay, let's stick to the talk. Okay, new person. Hello, hi. I have a question for my star 8 and star 9 partners. Can they take part in that? No, not yet. They have to make star 10 first. Why? See, the reason why I'm saying for now is this. A broad answer. I'm just talking about the priority of the respect for the people who have gotten so far as you. So they get basically the right of the first night. And I hope you know what that means. So if they don't like their bride, you know, but it doesn't mean that star 9 or star 8 partners are inferior to you. No, but it is you who have the priority right. So, and the pools, but the pools to join the project will be hefty, so that you can plant the seeds of major projects. I'm looking at it like a draft, so maybe it could be called a different way. So the first draft is kept by the first, only by 10 stars. We're raising, say, for 2 weeks, the money. But even if I don't raise enough money, I will invest the rest out of my own money. And then, if the pool is proves too big, then maybe I will take it down to 50,000, for example. later, but in 3 or 4 months. And there may be some other projects where we would like to welcome more people, but no less than star 7. But there is no clear answer. The logic is this: I don't want the people who invest to basically have the intention of making this project a success. I have complete faith in that. Because of that, I changed the program of the Club 20, the third module, which will talk about designing your future and shaping your intentions. We will be talking about intuition, intuitive rules, logical rules, and goal setting. And this is where I want people to design their own future based on the things that I practice and I have complete faith in. You may miss some of them, but you won't miss it. And as for the verbal exercises, we will do them in the field. They're basically something that you've all been through. So star 10 is something. It's say the entrance could be the entrance investment could be $100,000 or $200,000, and I know if you invest that money, you're going to fight for it, and it's not like $10,000. So basically, it's like I said, I want to captivate not only your money but your soul, where all of you will start to see new opportunities because you will be the shareholders of those projects, not just users or partners reselling some service, but a shareholder, a owner, a capitalist. And this is the economy, the way it has to happen, the way it's supposed to be. So to answer this, I'm telling you, I don't want any random people just with money, people who can invest, but from our team, because I want the people to, only the people who are on my team to do that, to be with me on this one. But it could change because there is lots of IPOs. Markets are different. I may miss some things there, but I'm just starting step by step to explore this area. Andre, you have a question? You're wearing orange today, huh? Okay. Okay, I have a question. It is about this slide. You showed us the minimum basic profitability of 40%. Yes, this is what I'm counting on, Kirill said. But I want to basically have an idea of the maximum numbers. Say you buy a token for $1,000 or 1,000 tokens for $1,000, believing it will be $1,400. And if you can either resell it to those who can wait for it to get there, or to those who want to convert it to real gold. There are people who do real gold, and this token basically will give them the right to convert it into gold, these tokens, and they'd be willing to pay you $1,100, while at this point it costs, or while you invested $1,000. So basically, this is how it will work. Sorry, I missed a few things. I may have missed a few things. Okay. How many X's are we talking? There it says 40. Okay, I know that we can't forecast, but we could use a forecast. This is what I'm going with, Kirill said. I mean, what if we prove to be a hit here? It could happen. I mean, what were the chances of Finiko growing so big as it is right now? No, I mean, not big chances, but we got there. Okay, so FNK. At the FNK rate, and you have 40%, and I mean, given most of us make 1% a day, but you're talking 40%. You're talking 40%. Do you think it will give us the right motivation? I mean, but are you sure? But how long will it last? How long will it last? Can you be sure that it will last long? So, because if we don't have projects to invest in and to grow our turnover of finances, things could change. Okay, we have to talk it out, Kirill said. Are you saying that 40% is not enough? Yes, it is not so much compared to what we have. So the motivation to invest in these ventures, if you know you can count on less, because you want to make more. You're supposed to make more. Less than what Kirill said. Less than the profitability granted by the index. Yes, what's got to do with the index, Kirill said. Well, basically, the math here is simple. No, the math is different. Kirill saying, when you are investing the money you make, you start reinvesting it. So any financial analyst will tell you that you have to diversify your risks. Are you sure that in 5 years there will be new restrictions on stock markets, or there will be so many players that the profitability margins will go down? Can we count on that 100%? Okay. So the shareholders, basically, I mean, there will be some papers and contracts signed between us and you all, but not on behalf of Finiko. Yes, this is what I'm talking about, because there you will have your right to basically claim what you want to have, because I want you to grow capital, like legal capital, set in stone on paper, because some people are all about that. Yes, I understand that this looks good. Gold is good, and because of people loving things like that, this is the reason why I'm offering gold. And also, take a look at this: oil and oil futures. Those are two different things. And the prices go up and down. So yes, so what I'm saying this, the direct profitability is 40%, that of the token of unmined gold. But what happens between that point and when the gold is mined comes down to the market. So this basic 40%, any timeline there? No, but you know, gold is gold, and this also gives them more confidence, because dollars, they can lose value, for example, but gold, it's a long-term thing, because in the long term, gold always grows in the long term. So I'm offering you to play the long game, and you will be owning it. And it's gold I'm talking about. Okay, thank you. So did that answer your question? Okay, can I continue with the questions? I'm Ramis from Kazan. Hi, everyone. I'm ready to invest. A question about the legal support or verification that I will have that I own this gold. It will be legally shown that I'm the owner of that in a fund. Yes, yes. Here's what I'm offering you. We create a virtual fund, like a model, some model. Let's call it Inside Finiko. This is just a thought. I'm just thinking about it, but there will be a legal entity for you to sign paperwork with. It will be tied or go with a specific real fund. We're thinking check now. The reason why it will be there is because projects will be created, like limited liability companies, open and closed, public and closed liability companies, because depending on what they're based on and on their assets and whether they have patents or not. And this foundation will hold a share, for example, 23%. And one of the projects we're going to be talking about with our investors is such projects. So, Vasily, okay. Why is it 23%? Don't you think it would be cool to become an owner of an asset? Depending on how much you're willing to invest, then get your money back, and then keep your share. Keep a share in that business. CTA is good. Indexes are great. Networking and affiliate programs are great. But here, basically, you will know that you will have that asset that you can transfer to your family, to your successors, without losing any money from that foundation. I think it's a great story. Tapping into new markets, acquiring new skills and competencies, and basically laying the foundation for something greater down the road. Like someone would say that 40% is not a lot, but I know the gold is permanent, it's steady, and I also we also offer you to get a share in those projects. So, who do I have to be, like a limited liability company or some sole proprietor? No, just a physical person. So there will be an internal sub-foundation. So if the project grows real big and it requires more money, but if you don't want to invest, I start raising for more money. I announce a call, and then the figure may change, but within that share. So am I understanding it right? So instead of money for business, you're interested in gold as raw material for your nano kit. Well, there is a lot of that. I mean, no. Because see, you have to produce it. If we're talking about gold, it has to be certified, it has to be melted, has to be a protocol somewhere, and this is a process I'm still not clear on. But I want to ask a question about the nano kit. Where do I get all the docs and certification for them? I will post that. I have it in my WhatsApp now. Yes, I would like to study it because I really want to dive into it. Yes, I know, because I believe you have a medical background. Yes. Hi, Alexander Bagaj from Vladivostok, Kuriel. Venture projects are all interesting and exciting. But how are you going to announce your information or like give us updates about the current status of projects? Will there be a website? Yes, there will be a website, Zygmunt is saying, with news updates and the process of implementation, which you can basically view in your back office. So there will be human resources, people, like real teams, running each project and providing feedback and all that. Yes, we're working on that. I think we should start a separate website for that, giving you information and updates about the roadmap. I mean, I really like live broadcasts, and this is basically the format that I rely on. Because when something doesn't work, people will get a feeling of that. And I want us all to be honest. If someone is not inspired by a project that they invested in, I really wanted them to talk about it and not lie. To see maybe this way we can find some room for improvement. Yes, I like that. Okay, hi, I have a question. Say I have 100 or 200 or 300K in a fund, generating profitability for some gold project. Say within 6 months there is some profit, so the work does pay off, and I get my tokens or some grams of gold. Then my money keeps generating money for project 2. The mechanics could be like this, yes. Or I can keep it, but see, there is still no clear answers. Okay, say some time passes. Say then it's project 2, project 3, project 4, and I'm keeping my money there so that my money generates profits for the shares of new companies, so to say. Would it work like that? I'm still not sure. Well, if it's like this, then it would be great. So, so it would be. So I really want just like a production line, a conveyor of projects. Okay, like with a nano kit. Would we have to give referrals for that? Referral fees? No, not without the foundation. Those who have the time to join the fund, this would make them the lucky ones. So see, I mean, it just made. I mean, there are a lot of ideas. We're in over our heads. So those who join the fund, they become like automatically the co-owners. And if someone wants to leave, okay. But if nobody wants to buy your share, we just sell it on open trades. And what about the goals? What about the prognosis for results? They say 3 months, but I think it will be 6 months. See, we studied this information. We have talked to our partners, and so basically our desire to do it, we have it, but there is still some risk. So, but we're counting on 6 months. If it pays off earlier, we'll be glad. Kirill, it's not a question. I just want to talk to you for a while. See, I've known you for many years, and I enjoy finding new businesses with you. So thank you for being so honest with us tonight, because even 2 years ago we offered partners to join products, and we told them basically work your products out and decide whether you want to join or not. But here you just it's like what you're saying is I'm loving it. We may not have a complete understanding of the direction we're taking, but we're taking this first step. Yes, it's like the rule of the first step. We may not have an idea where we're going, but we're going there with a great team, so I'm ready to invest it today. I mean, I'm willing to invest $1 million in it, and I'm pretty sure you will find $100,000 to invest it. So it won't be under my control, though. This is the disadvantage. It's a new team. They're pros who talk coherently, who are good to their word, as we have seen. I mean, it's we who are slowing things down. They really want to take it quickly. But it's a different country. It's a different state, a different continent. So say if there is some problem with this country, with the government, for example, and they want to take this land with a case where they will be digging for gold, I won't be able to impact that or change that. And this is our reality, but still, I will have the fund, and we proceed to the next project. But if it pays off, it will be great, because there is nothing preventing you from buying like gold in Switzerland or in some other country, but not with at a discount of 40%. You won't be mining it on your own. So there are these not under your control risks.
It means that, for example, I am number 1. The entrance is, well, let's make it 50,000 because it's under control. And then once we have shaped up the fund, you have your obligations, what to do next. Every week we will have online broadcasts. We will agree on the first things to do, like creating legal entities, and those of you who are legal entities, we will have the first online broadcast within the next week, I guess. One question, Kirill. When we are starting? I guess the day before yesterday. If you're lucky, if you are fast, you get into. Zig, please share the mechanics, will you? I think it will implement Excel table. It will be really simple. Well, fingerprints taken, tear of blood. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I hope I respect your values anyways. Yes, there will be a table where you will fill out your readiness, whether you're ready to get in, to columns. Do you know how to make 2 columns in Excel, by the way? Kirill, one question. The team that is organizing this whole, what share do they have in this project, and what relation do they have in this? Well, 23% is investors, and we work 50-50. Not 123, but everything after minus self-cost, and after that 50-50. How it's going to be in real life, it's going to be clear after we sign the contract. Maybe the share will increase because we understand the risks are higher. Like, maybe we will understand that we will increase the share and the rest of it we will divide like 35-35. I don't know. Because on the other side, there are people who are more brave than we are. We are pessimistic about it, but it's really actually comfortable and convenient to be pessimistic about that, because you are ready for the worst case scenario. I'm not talking about intentions. I'm talking about the aggression, the leadership. Having that, you can implement all the things. And we implement this strategy. If this happens, we will get to own our share. Krasnodar Kurai, I have a question. Kirill, we've talked about us. It is clear, yes. What about other partners? What do they get? What do you mean? What other? Other who connected to Finiko, who bought it? No, it's not about them at all. Okay, we're talking about shares. The partners, we are creating the agreement about becoming shareholders. It doesn't mean that you cannot sell. You will be able to sell the tokens and etc. Everything will be available on the second stage of project realizations when we get the money from the product sales. Is that all? No. If we attach to gold to token, it looks more scaly, if you will. No, if we only attach to gold, we will be talking about things, the trivial things. But I think I talk about digital gold, and here I'm going to share my second presentation about that. The project that I really love, which is under control and which I think has more potential, because anyways, we limit it. Could you mine all the gold? Hypothetically, yes, you can. But digital gold, I think, limitless. I think it is limitless. You can put it anywhere. You could generate tons and tons and tons. And is that clear, by the way? Mechanics, the first and the second. So just please submit your readiness to take part, either the first or the second project. And you will see that in your chat. There will be a venture site depicting your decisions, illustrating your decisions. Denis Delgopol from Omsk. Kirill, limitations on shares. Will there be any? One person, I know that I need $20 million for realization. It's enough to finance roadmaps per year, not to need anything more, not to risks on profits, on high-risk models. So if these 20 million will be formed by these people sitting here, can a person enter with 10 shares? Are there any limitations? No, I don't think so, because if there is a conflict, we will ask less. Like if we delete 10, we will ask 18 more. But okay, let's move forward. On the gold, is everything clear for you? Victor from Ufa. I have a question, Kirill. The 10 stars that are present here, some of them didn't make it here. Some of 9 stars will make concert tomorrow. Can they have the same opportunity? No, if you are star 10 within 3 days, you will have the opportunity. Yes, I think, yeah. It's a long-term project, and we will see more 10 stars emerging. There will be more of them and more projects appearing. Will they have a chance to enter those projects? I'm talking about the fund. You mean the project fund? No, maybe not. I don't know. Because if we have formed the fund and it's enough of people, well, we are not letting anyone in. If I know that token is increasing in its price and we have opened 15 more mines, will the expectations for token increase? It is possible. People will, because people can sell and make double profits on that. How we are going to implement it in real life, it's unclear. Whether you have an opportunity, sometimes if we know that the token is higher than the gold, and the expectation is higher, is it possible? It is possible. It happened many times with the gold, for example, and the oil, black oil. So what if we want to make another digital mine? Because first was constructed, built, and it's operating successfully. We get the profit, we get tokens printed, they are sold on the market, the roadmap is implemented. Why not to increase the capitalization of the whole company? So 23% of the share will increase proportionally, and there will be more payments.
There will be more token payments for this company. The most important thing is that it doesn't go down. Hello, Andrei Novikov from Sochi. I have a question. There will be one fund, right, for all the projects, divided into sub-funds. Yes. The shareholders of this fund, will they be able to see the amount of money in this fund? Yes, of course. So if a new project comes along with new partners, start 10 projects, will they join this project? Yes. They will join either the fund or take advantage of the opportunities to invest. I want it to be semi-automatic, this system. I think there will be a system where half the made money is invested in some IPOs that come along in the first 6 months, and the next you choose, say if 30 IPOs out of 100 pay off, it's great, you still make money, and in the other half you'll get a chance to choose where to invest. So this is how I look at this for now. And the toughest part here, storage, no microphone, okay. But it will involve shareholders and shares in every case. So when I'm saying this is that the person we'll be working with has a lot of experience. It doesn't mean guarantees, but it means a lot to me. I mean, when you know that the person is always connected, is always in touch, and can back up everything they're saying, it gives me enough confidence to take risks with that person, that project. So once you get the shares, you can do whatever you want with these shares. I mean, the shares could also go up. It's yet another X which you will have. So it's like the FNK token. Here, following like the palatability of the thing, because it is palatable and it's used. And when you're not chasing the rate, you gain in power, because people start to feel that you're powerful, and it starts growing. And we could build the same thing or structure in any project. It's like it comes down to palatability, and the palatability will drive demand. Hello, Kirill. Alexander from Bishkek. I will come to your great city, I promise. It's thank you, but it's not the point now. Here's my question. So the entrance will be through ciphers. So I have to start piling up ciphers, saving them up. Yes, and I think this was clear 3 years ago. So basically, Dmitry Beodolin Chelyabinsk. 2 questions. The first one, lots of people basically say that their cities are the base from where they came, but now they're living in other cities. Okay, the first question. You said that partially you will be buying gold partially, but yes, I said that, but I was wrong, and it was made clear to me. Because they said that there are like 5 similar projects ongoing now, so I don't want that. I want to dive into unmined gold, where there is that difference in those expectations which you can sell on the market. Okay, another question. We filled out that smart table one time, but I stopped it, Kirill said, because I was wrong about it. I made a mistake there. Because when I thought about it, I told Zig to do it, then I explained, and then it was made clear to me that I didn't want to get involved with a story where I was no pro, and where the people I was working with were not pros either, because there's a million companies like that, and this is why we want to mine now, and there is lots of ways to make money, including like apart from the gold profitability. So from gold profitability. But you have to fill it out. Okay, now we're going to have a Zoom online connection, and I need Marat for that. Sabir, you know him by that name. Kirill, a question. Hi, Valera. Okay. In the previous version, I think we had to submit it by February the 15th, and we took our time to do the financial planning, and I haven't submitted it yet. So, do we still have the time to submit it? Yes. So now let's talk about it. We're going to talk to that person about our wealth management. I mean, sometimes English words, if you speak English or some English, these words can be very not narrow, but they can include so many things can be within 1 or 2 words. So intuitively understand that we are there. At the last event I said, when you ask us what the rate will be, we say we don't know. Maybe it's $1,000. Why? Because it sounds cool. But what's important to us is that it grows through services where FNK is used, which use FNK and we're going to talk about them, because each of the services brings clients and customers. They intertwine on their own when there is money inside, and they also connect to external markets, because we need the exchanger not only for our needs but for those of some players. We need a bank not only for our own needs but for those of some other players in Europe and in Asia. And this is what we're talking about now. Just a simple example. We have a Canadian payment system which can acquire rubles, dollars, euros, and we can receive funds from cards and pay back cryptocurrency in cryptocurrency. And this means that we are in the real market while creating a new financial technology like the ones that Sberbank bank is working on. And we started doing that a year ago, and they're just starting to do it now. So the background of this project. The reason why we took a serious look at those previous proposals is because it came from the persons who offered the Gold project, because they're well connected with the people who can make it happen. We've been working for them for a year. We had known them before, but no names. Now, these people proved to be professional, very efficient and quick, and it's just fun to talk about them. And what happens within our company is basically what happens within that company. All that fun, all that good spirit and bantering, and their IT guys really got off to the right foot with our guys, IT guys. And so, I mean, instead of IT guys always like cursing at each other, now that we have those teams are combined, it seems like they're just getting along just fine. So those guys said, apart from gold, what else do you have? Because we're designing, and I thought of the things that we were designing. Those guys are very successful. They do payment systems, including billionaire turnover payment systems, so they know what exchanging is all about, and they stood at the origins of the crypto market in Russia, as far as I understand. But they're very laid back, very, very unsophisticated. It's easy to make, like, to laugh together with them and sometimes crack a joke, but their efficiency fills me with a thrill, gives me a thrill. And then we stopped the talk about gold for a while, and we understood that we could invest in it as investors, but we weren't going to create a platform like that on our own, because I can't go to that country and tell you how this process is unraveling there. And I could get stuck there. And even if I tell you guys everything is going great, I mean, I cannot guarantee with any certitude that it will work if I were the one doing it. There are always risks. But imagine having a fund which would finance all of your wishes and cravings and yearnings, and would be in line with your vision, and you would have a lot of money, and you would build it all quickly. And it turned out that wherever you are on the market, crypto market, or stock exchange, because when you get your bitcoins, you go to an exchanger like Binance, and then sometimes they make you wait for 5 days, because you need to explain where you get your money from. And while you're sticking around, waiting for it, they're using your money, so you're not protected. And as a major player, we have bigger risk, because by working with your money on some other stock exchanges, because when they start looking at us, when they see our great profits, or a payment system, you may be working with someone, and some bank on the other side start telling you you're making a lot of money. There is a lot of money. Okay, we could change the rules when they apply to you. And so this is why you need to have a bank which can come along with a crypto wallet. This is where you have your own bank, your own market, your own wallet, everything. You own everything, and you are the shareholder. You get to hold a share of the bank, a share of the stock exchange. Even that card, you would still have a share of it, and it's all under one brand or legal entity, this fund. We're going to dive into it, and it's all also interconnected. So basically, we'll be self-sufficient. For the first time in my life, I'm feeling the goosebumps, because now I'm touching something a lot more reliable than gold, less intangible. Gold is great. I invested some into it, but at the next conference, I will be talking about it as a man who is working on it, because me and Murat and our team are always working to promote that, to promote what I'm going to show you in the slides. And now I'm going to be following those slides. And this is not how you should follow your slides, but I have no other choice. This is the main slide. So here we have the wallet and the crypto card. We're combining cryptocurrency and the real banking sector. Zygmunt, could you talk to my subscribers, so to say? Are they ready to go online? Yes, they can hear us already. Can we call them by name? No, not for now. So there is. See that? No, what you're saying is, I mean, now you'll get it, because when a person talks, it gives me such a thrill. Because you cannot see that the person knows what they're talking about, knows how it will work, but however, they're not ready to take any commitments in terms of the timeline. But this is what I love, because our job is to achieve those results, and the timeline, we will figure it out. We will find the right one. Okay, let's talk about it, and let's take a look at the first slide, and let's get the guy online. So this is our business meeting. We called it all-in-one. This is what the guy made up. I hope they can hear us. Okay, he can. Hey there. Hello, everyone. I'm glad that everyone is here. Hail and hearty. I don't know what you saw before. What you may have seen before, but I told them about our dialogue about the gold and us tapping into digital gold. When I called you over a hookah, what would you do if you had all the money in the world? You told me this story, so please share that story by following those slides. For starters, I would make this money that I had to be owned by me, not a bank. Much like any and all of you would like to have full control over your money, not some third-party organization that can take it anytime it wishes. So our approach to the project is to build the infrastructure in such a way. Sorry for interjecting. Do you have the control of going through your slides, because it's not happening? No, I can't. Do you want to stick to this slide, or do you want to see the next one? Okay, let's go with the next one. You keep talking. The first slide here shows the smallest of the products that we have on offer, but it's the most needed one. It's the wallet. Each of you, shops around, goes to the grocery store to buy some bread, some groceries, with some money in their wallet for some current costs. So we have come up with this e-wallet, where you can keep all types of currencies, whether it be euros, dollars, or rubles, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, USDT, FNK, sure. And this list goes on and on infinitely. The most interesting thing here that it offers is that chance to exchange one currency into another just by one click. So it's within the wallet. Yes, you can transfer it to your guy, to your person you know. You can basically take it at an ATM, transfer it to another card, and this is exactly what wallets are all about: storage, exchange, sale, and purchase of currency. What's the key issue that the creation of this wallet addresses? The working name here, I mean, since I'm using lots of services. It's great that I can convert the Bitcoin to the ruble and send it to my card, because usually it takes lots of services, and now some of the stock exchanges won't allow you to send money to your card, or you have to go to an exchanger, wait for P2P, and there are scammers.
And then you get your bank card blocked. Yes, and then you get the invoice that you have transmitted the money to your other wallet. Yes, it's clear. So now I think I'm starting to like this. What is the advantage you have? Once we launch our own services, bank, payment systems, we will be able to decrease rates and fees. I will talk about that later. Next, please. Your own wallet card. This is a crypto card. When you can store your cryptocurrency on this wallet, and you can withdraw this in any ATM. You can choose any cryptocurrency, or USDT or FNK, and it will be withdrawn from your card. Even FNK. Yes, of course. FNK is a market token, and it is secured, so you can work with it. So it's any tool, an instrument that has a market underneath it and liquidity. You can use it. What is rental payments? It's when you within wallet can create a model, sample. When you send money all the time to the same person, you do like a mold version of your activities. What you do with our payment card, you could pay, sell, transmit funds to other person. This function is really handy. Your own banking card, it's going to be your own banking card. Yes, it's going to be from the bank that we are creating. Well, first of all, on the first, it's not going to be ours, but then we wanted to simplify it. We are ready to issue the first version of it, and next, what we are striving for is to create our own bank and to issue our own banking cards. This model, when we were talking with this partner about making our own bank, well, there was one issue. We don't have our competent specialists. We need to grow to be a bank. This was another confirmation to me personally that we are in the right direction. We are working with these guys, and they are great. Is it clear, everything? Yes. Do you have any questions? I will be able to answer you. Limits. About limits. There won't be any limits for purchasing any items, products. There will be solutions on fiat cards. Will there be any limitations on withdrawals? Yes, there will be limits. I'm not going to announce them now because it depends on the ATM you're using, because it's the bank that decides what fee is to set. But the cryptocurrency card, we're doing everything to make cash into digits, and when you have cryptocurrency on your wallet, it's basically the same as the cash, because it's your own bank in your pocket. That's what it is. Yeah, no, it's a card of your bank that is in your pocket. That's what it is. Will there be any protection? Of course, there will be. In terms of transmission between cards, like card to card will be in cryptocurrency, because it's a crypto card, yes. And there won't be any limits. The fee, I guess, regarding the fee, as of now, it's too early to tell. It's going to be lower than in our competitors. Inside the affiliate companies, it's going to be less, of course. Okay, next slide, please. Stock exchange. Stock exchange. What? Our own stock exchange. Can you hear me? Yeah. I'm sorry. Connection is poor. Our own stock exchange will allow us to make conversational operations and take liquidity under our control to protect from blocking, from fees during the trades, since we are putting our own fees, setting them, and the exchange will be the cheapest for ourselves, because the infrastructure is tied to that.
Someone is saying something. Oh, somebody asked a question about cashing money, and they said they take no interest in cashing money. And now it's all built around FNK tokens. There may come some new tokens down the road. Okay, could you tell us about engaging with legal entities, because the terms that you use make it sound great. So basically, any legal entity will be able to purchase it legally. Are we talking Russian companies? Yes. So basically, a Russian limited liability company could buy some Bitcoin and then exchange it for saffrons. I mean, but it will apply to non-VAT companies, because cryptocurrency it classifies like a financial surrogate in other countries or republics. It classifies as a token. So VAT companies won't be able to buy it. Those that are VAT free will buy it. And there will be cryptocurrencies like on the balance sheet of those companies. This is where they will keep it. Yes. So if you have a limited liability company, you can officially invest in the Bitcoins if you believe it will grow. Much like Elon Musk did today. He invested $1.5 billion into Bitcoins. Exactly so. Please ask your questions using a mic, because you won't be heard online. I can't hear the questions either, Arthur said, the guy who joined online. The safety of the cryptocurrency that is stored there and that we can exchange will be through a private key, because the Binance means that we are not the owners of the cryptocurrency that we have there. If something happens to Binance, we'll lose our money. Yes, you're talking about a decentralized exchange. Yes, he's right. I'll answer this. Because our exchange will divide it like this. Tax sales, where you will get a chance to sign your transactions with your private key, and in this case, you will keep your funds on your own wallet. As for speaking of traditional exchanges like Binance, the reason why it can't be private is because when you're buying something, when you're placing an order, You can't transfer from one fund to another through blockchain because the transaction will be too long and you need to sell in the moment. It would be useless for professional traders because you use small lots for that, and you can't afford 30 minutes for a question. We exchange BTC to CFR, then we place it to Life, and then we pay it. Would it be legal? And then we send it to the fund, you said. Yes. Are you talking about transferring bitcoins to a legal entity? So it's like Finiko.Life. We place it there. Basically, it stays there. Yes, I understand where you're coming from, but first we need to get it started. If our case proves to be successful, and if the money comes back from the exchange to that legal entity, it would be great because we're also selling through legal entity, and if it's great, it will be great. Okay, yes, I'm still online. Sorry, I received a call. I was interrupted. So you talked about DeFi tokens as a new thing, is a thing of its own, very secure. Marat said it's not always safe on or convenient to have it on the cryptocurrency because sometimes it takes a long time or longer for cryptocurrency. So sorry, could you repeat the question? It's about the exchange, why it's impossible, or why private keys are used only in DeFi markets, not in the traditional ones, because order completion times will depend on blockchain, and it would it would slow down conversion times, and it's impossible to use it for trading. Okay, you explained it. Next question. The wallet that you showed in the previous slide, will it be a cold one or what? Will you provide the option of a separate cold wallet? Yes, we have thought about it, but what about the funds on that wallet? I'm talking instant exchanges. How's that going to work? No, those funds will be on the hot operational wallet. I know that we're working on a cold wallet for you. So basically, when you're shopping around, you're not taking all the money that you have, all the cold hard cash. You're taking everything, just the money that you need for your operational cost. So you will keep some on the operational wallet and some on the cold wallet. Oh, I hope it paints a good picture. And Marat is saying, so any exchange that has cryptocurrency, they don't keep all of their money on the operational wallet. Some is kept on the cold wallet, and I think most wallets use the same pattern. Personal tokens, what do you mean by that? It says it there. Is that the project that we discussed? Yes, it's the X project. Okay, I'll delve into it since you're all listening. Imagine this. Imagine each and all of you being able to just, by a few clicks, to create a token of their own and taking it straight to the exchange. Then you connect it to your social networks, share your ideas, and this, all of your friends and all the exchange community will know about it instantly. If your idea seems good or fascinating, or if you are a very well-known persona as the creator of this token, they will buy your token, which would capitalize you, which would be a sign of your successfulness, of your success. And this is something that is not yet there in the world. It's not a thing. But while you're a physical person, you will be able to issue it. It's like your Instagram. So if you're popular, they subscribe to you, get more subscribers. It's basically the same thing, but in the cryptocurrency world. Our philosophy is this: Tesla and SpaceX are Elon Musk. More about Elon Musk. If we were talking about Finiko, it's Kirill, Marat, Zygmunt, and Edward. They're the faces behind this company. I mean, there. There are people behind every project, and now people follow people mostly, and not the projects. So they want to see who is behind that project. So it's like social capital, and each and all of you will get a chance to generate a token of your own. Yeah, I would like to play this game. Okay, let's move on. Anything else on this slide? Okay, marginality, marginal sales, fiats. It will be a fiat exchange, so all the payment gates that we have and that we will have through the bank will be connected to the exchange so that you can basically withdraw your money to a bank account in our bank that we are creating, and basically transfer these funds anywhere and anytime you want. So it's us creating a way of operating your money, the exchange, the bank, and the wallet to use your money without you being limited in your opportunities. Well, this is a bomb. This is great. And we have quite a few slides, so let's move on. Okay, you mentioned the crypto card and the bank card. Now let's take a good look at this crypto card slide. What's it going to be about? So yes, the first slide talked about the bank card, and here we're talking about the first. Let's start with the bank card. It will be a traditional card, not a crypto card, issued by a foreign financial institute, a debit card, a multi-currency card, basically a traditional card that can be used in Russia and abroad. That can be used by any national or a citizen. Any limitations there or what? Any citizen except those that come from the list of some countries like Iran, Pakistan, South Korea, Congo, and some others. I feel bad about Congo. Anything else new apart from what you said about apart from those crypto assets? Will this card be tied to the wallet? You'll get a chance to tie it to the crypto wallet, much like any other card, but our card will offer you like very good fees on your transactions. So basically, the fees will be lower. It will be easier for us and cheaper for us because we'll be the one processing them, and since we're the the issuers, so like all the interchange costs, like whenever you're buying something in a shop, when you're paying with your card, some of the fees is kept by like Visa or MasterCard and the bank. But if the issuing bank and the acquiring bank are one and the same entity, we only get to, it's only the payment system commission that is kept, but it's the lowest in the scheme. So what we're going to offer our loyal users is we're going to offer them the best conditions in terms of transactions, because it will be under our control and we'll be one running it, because we are the ones handling all the fees and sending them. The next thing, I have a question first. So are you going to have a processing center of your own or not? One of our own. And what about the acquiring bank? One of our own. And the acquiring bank will be us. We will be both the issuer and the acquirer. In this case, both issuer and acquirer. So the next stage here, I think, is that digital acquiring transactions and business digitalization is the next step, like digitalizing your business on the 5th blockchain platform, I think. It was part of the question from the audience. What platform will you be using? What blockchain platform will you be using? So blockchain will form the basis because and now we're in talks with Visa about tokenization of payments. Are we in talks? Are we in such talks? Yes, but you're thinking in the right direction. I mean, you're thinking about the right things. Okay, there is at least one person here who got the picture. Please use a mic. Use a mic. Okay, what about the To the Moon Bank? If this proves to be a reality, are we going to dump the To the Moon Bank? No, the To the Moon Bank is I'm a shareholder of this bank. I mean, we will keep it, and this is a whole new thing. In addition to that, but it's a new service that we'll be launching. I just wanted to move away from that. We need to be creating the best stories out there, so to say, the best things out there, which would give us lots of opportunity to invest in lots of services with different teams. And all these people are my friends, and I'm like ready to serve them so that they can grow and develop themselves. Cryptocurrency deposits, any comments on that? Yes. We'll be offering you cryptocurrency deposit rates and guarantee that they will be paid back because these deposits will be part of our ecosystem, not external ones, because some banks get some problems with creditors and with borrowers. So if I'm a creditor of of a bank and I make a deposit, some of it is used to add interest, and if the borrowers don't pay back, it creates a huge financial gap. But now structure the deposit. Here, the deposit, the exchange, the card, the security, the liquidity, including all DeFi markets as applicable to our products, will be under our control, with us getting commissions also from the transactions related business that is also under our control, which is safe and most importantly possible. I'm just listening to you, and I'm enjoying it as a client. I mean, this game between being a shareholder and having a useful product. You have to like it. I'm really getting a kick out of it. The liquidity platform, it's a question. Where are you going to have it? What liquidity are you referring to? Are you talking about crypto liquidity? Yes. This crypto liquidity will be both in the wallet and in the exchange. But within this ecosystem where there is this process with the processing center and all that, yes, within this one, we're talking crypto though now, because the processing center will also be partially tied to fiat. Cryptocurrency has to do with the stock exchanges conversion of cryptocurrency to fiat and back. So we're talking about deposits which give you interest, much like in the bank. But not only interest, but because we have projects under our control and liquidity under our control, making profits off of other services, not third-party services, but our own services, which takes the level of risks down based on this rhetoric, if you want to follow that line of rhetoric. Crypto debts is maybe not the best way to call this slide, but it's a loan with your cryptocurrency security. Say you hold some digital asset. Say it's the Bitcoin, and now you want euros or rubles or dollars or something like that. However, you don't want to sell your cryptocurrency to get it. So It's like this repo thing where you provide security for the loan that you're taking out, but you're doing it in cryptocurrency, so you leave it as security and you get your fiat. Once you return your fiat, you repay it, you get your cryptocurrency back, or maybe you provide security and you get USDT. Bitcoin is security and get your USDT, and vice versa. Lots of holders there. I've seen situations where I wanted to get 2 million USDT and I had Bitcoins also, but I didn't want to pay it back, so I provided it as security, and I paid it back in 3 days. I did pay some interest, however, the transaction I made brought me a lot more money. Great. So this is all service related. So loans with cryptocurrency as security, or it could be like your crypto pawn shop in jargon. Okay. I have a question. It's about the banking sector, because the issuing bank is not a physical one, it's a payment system. Okay. No, the issuing bank will be a bank, not the payment system. So you will be going to the US market and to the European market because you're talking Visa or MasterCard. What about Security Exchange Commission checks? Do you think there will be such a lot down the road? Well, securities fee. This commission deals with the securities, hence the name, and will be dealing with the tokens that are recognized as a security and not recognized or not. Most likely, I think we will be based in Europe, on a country that's on the European continent, and we will be listing tokens that have a legal opinion verifying them not being a security, so that we have no problems with the American Exchange Commission, Security Exchange Commission, so which would also provide some security. But Elon Musk, he did provide the information to this agency, to SEC, but he informed them that they had invested in the cryptocurrency. But here we're also investing in the cryptocurrency. It's either FTP or SEC. Anyways, someone will have to enforce that or control that. There will have to be some reporting involved. Sorry, I think we're confusing our terms here. What is FTF? It's the Anti-Laundering Commission all over the world that runs all central banks. If you're an issuing bank, all of them will be as part of AML procedures. All transactions will be like conversions and sale and purchase for fiat will be within the anti-money laundering policy. All cryptocurrencies will be traced for incoming transactions, the sources thereof, and from this point of view, legally, we're working it out in detail. We know that because we've been doing it for a long time. We know of these risks and we know how to control them. Okay, I'll try to translate to you. We'll sell to the Americans everything that they want, but everything else, we will set some restrictions there. Yes, I think. If the market is decentralized, we can't control it, and Americans can go there. Where we can restrict Americans is the use of our platform. If we see that there are risks, we restrict them. This is what we're doing with Finiko now. Thank you. Any more questions? Okay, one more question there. Hi everyone, Valery from Kazan. I have a question. The thing is, now the cryptocurrency profits, we have no idea how to pay taxes off of that once this service of yours emerges. Once it's there, we'll be receiving like pure, checked, verified cryptocurrency, so to say. It's my way of calling it. Will it clarify how we should do our taxes? Yes. We will have our own agent, because our slides say that our exchange will have a partner in Russia keeping records of our clients and helping do taxes. We're working on that. We're designing that. So this company is basically a Russian company, but it's an agent of some central company. And every client that works within the system pays taxes through this agent, because now many of us are starting to basically look to other companies abroad in order to legalize their incomes there. So in order to avoid that, what you're offering is great. See, we are in this, and it's important for us to be able, as physical entities and as companies, to pay those taxes. We're working on this model for our own selves also, so that we can also offer it as a product. Lots of slides, okay, and it's in one of the slides. Crypto fiat processing. Would you comment on that? Yes, we give companies the chance to receive cryptocurrencies and converting their conversion of to euros, dollars, and fiat, and with a chance to pay to clients' accounts. We're not talking Russian companies now, because it's their legal standing may be somewhat shaky, but we have a company that is ready to provide their clients with a chance to accept cryptocurrencies for services, like especially VAT ones, which and it comes with all like financial statements. So you get a client, they pay in cryptocurrency, sorry, no rubles, and the company gets it in euros, dollars, francs, or something else, and we make our commissions, our fees off of that, and the company gets this chance. So this is what we're doing. Maybe if it's not intended for Russian users, it goes to show what opportunities we are offering to the whole world, which also invites them as our clients. Okay, the mining pool.
Mining pool is not a swimming pool, by the way. If people know how the blockchain is working and how the fee is distributed, you need to know the mechanisms, how the pool is operating, the process capacities. Mining pool founds the block, transaction is integrated inside, transaction gets into network. Each transaction, the user pays a commission rate, and if we take like 10,000 of transactions, it's about $6-7 per one transaction. If you have, so we come to $7,000 of commissions. If you have a huge company, like a stock exchange, any large stock exchange, each time they pay huge amount of thousands of dollars of commissions. And imagine that commission is getting back to you, is returning back to you. So it's like a cashback, like in cryptocurrency, if you understand what it is. It is possible because we are processing it. Technically, it is possible. The only thing is to use the technology and in order to implement it. Moving forward. Sounds like a name of a movie. Mining Citadel. We have mining farms, mining factories, but if we think globally, this is our name, and we came up with this name. It's a new name. Mining is about taking transaction share from the whole network. Bitcoin is processed through billions of operations. Its commission is paid with millions and millions of dollars. I don't know the exact numbers, but you can check out the information on Business Info. When you are doing mining, you get commission out of transactions. This is what Visa MasterCard does. This is every time you pay in ATM, they get from every transaction. Market is growing, and the technology of Bitcoin mining and the chip manufacturing is at the peak as of now. 5 nanometers chips, they are more effective, they consume less power, they are more efficient, they are top of the top, and in terms of power consumption, energy consumption, they on the same peak but in the opposite direction. Consume less but process more. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Our plan is to make it in Russia because we have electricity, we have power, we have north lands, we have all the necessary resources and conditions because Russia on the part of making energy has a huge potential. We have nuclear power plants, thermal power plants, and we have a lot of it. And taking into consideration that Finland is going to decrease power consumption, we forecast that the electricity has to be used in large amounts, and the government will buy it. And if our government will allow us to implement it in our country, we have neighboring countries who will buy it. They actually have a new upcoming power plant build up, a new economical zone. In terms of mining, we process, we do everything, and we send cash back. We also can place other devices in our citadel where people be offered better services in terms of combining their small efforts. Can I ask a question? Can you explain simply how to use this bot content, whether in Kazakhstan we have a Sberbank ATM, we use either Sberbank card or using this card through a Sberbank ATM, we put this money, they automatically send into cryptocurrency, and then we transmit it into Finiko. Is it possible? And in which amount? No, let's make it simpler. Let's make a payment service where the information is given on this page. What are the amounts possible? The amounts in which we can receive rubles. I mean, we are talking about purchases. No limits here. It will be a purchase. Only your bank can limit you. If you buy tons of milk, for example, and bank tells you can buy only 500 liters. This is the same case. So it depends on the bank only. So legal entity can be registered on a corporate card, and you can perform a purchase. Am I right? Yes, but no, it's complicated with legal entities. Our legal specialist will be able to answer you. I'm only one. We have lots of questions, and I'm only one. The deeper we go, the more difficult it gets. Let's at least start explaining what a natural person does. Okay, now we have another slide.
Fiat System Electronic Money Institution. Do you remember this one? Yes, the electronic money institution is this intermediary stage which we want to pass quickly and go straight to the bank. So what this is basically a payment system where you open an account to your name, you top it up, but the electronic money institution basically fills it with electronic money, digital money basically, but once you withdraw money from this payment system, you sell electronic money and get back your cold hard cash, real money. Yeah, this blew me away yesterday, and it's quicker than the bank, so I think you can so this electronic money institution is a counterpart of a non-commercial organization. Non-banking credit organization, I mean. So could you kind of paint a general picture of that? So could you just cover them quickly? Okay, this model is very inspiring. What's the next thing? Oh, it's the bank. Unfortunately, my connection is going down a little bit. But anyways, now we're talking about the bank. So the bank is about opening accounts for both physical and legal entities, deposits and payments. So it's classic banking, but since you will have an account in a foreign bank, you will forget what currency control is. So we will give you access to international business and international activities without you being tied within one local economy. Are there any risks or risks for Russian citizens using? Well, we can use anything we want, but can we promote that? Well, yes, a Russian citizen has to declare that they have a bank in an account in the foreign bank. So basically, there will be some sequence of steps to take in order not for that to happen. So basically, but it will be international. I mean, we're not calling you to open that account, but we're talking about being the shareholders of this system. We're not limited to Russia, but the Russian market to us is like 2% of the global market where we are. I mean, we're more focused on the global market, but I'm trying to just communicate what kind of opportunities it could offer you here, to you who are listening to me now. Okay, a question. Speaking of decentralization and that we have to provide information or report about opening accounts abroad, does it mean that this bank will report on our clients? Will it, though? See, look here. Now we're talking about a number of countries where it can happen. Some countries lack this automatic exchange of information about tax-related things only upon a request, but we call on everyone. A number of countries, a number of countries. And we are considering a number of countries, and the one that suits our financial model the best, but we believe that everyone has to be a law-abiding citizen. So you better comply with it. No, it's fine. I have a question about the bank. Will this bank be sold, or basically, will it have to obtain a new license? Or will this bank have some history? Now we're considering like setting up a new bank or buying some old existing bank. Now we're in talks about purchasing a share in a bank and also founding our own bank, but purchasing a bank entails lots of costs and high risks related to like the background of the bank, some things that have happened before. So are we talking hybrid bank? No, it would be better if we started our own bank, but in order to accelerate it, we would purchase the share of some like existing bank, but at the same time we'll be setting up our own bank. So Finiko is going to be a cryptocurrency exchanger. Yes, to break people away from the habit of keeping their money stashed under a pillow. We'll do our utmost so to make you forget about like a cold hard cash. It may sound ambiguous, but still, because the future is a digital currency. Okay, now the slide I kind of stole from you and made it the jewel of today is wealth management. There is a grammar error. I believe lots of people can see that. Okay, but it doesn't matter. Yes, I removed health there, but I kept wealth because health is wealth and wealth is health. This is our, English sense of humor, motherfucker. So it's like private banking, this wealth management thing, which allows people to invest in projects which we believe to be promising. And also it has to do with management of capital, because lots of people, like someone says from the studio, have lots of like cold hard cash, but your money has to be always working to make more money. So we're going to look for promising startups like we're doing now, so we can buy shares in them. Okay, that's clear, I think. Move on. Oh, I love this one as a client, because sometimes I'm in this cognitive dissonance state where I may be ill or sick, because sometimes I'm listening to you as a shareholder, sometimes as a client. Okay, now we have some history of money being seized by a bank or a cryptocurrency exchange as illegal, and lots of people need help with that, and they can't do it on their own. It's a difficult and onerous task. But we're all about difficult jobs, and this means this will have demand. This would help you avoid the risk of your money being seized or blocked by some third-party exchange. It's like a legal service. So if something like that happens, we will provide you with assistance to make every effort to recover your blocked or seized finances. Anything else? Okay, something about cash. I love the design of the slide. So, cash deposits and will be possible, but in the country where the bank will have its headquarters or just a representation, because our neighboring countries do not have the problem of people having to go to the bank. When you want to get cash in Russia, it's a problem getting cash from the account of a legal entity. But this problem is not seen in many other countries. So it all applies to banking and services, financial services. Is this it? The next slide is about processing and acquiring. Okay, processing and acquiring now. Let's start on it. Yes. Basically, what we want to do is this. Yes, so now we're working on some processing things. Acquiring is harder because you need to be a Visa or a MasterCard member. It takes a legal competence and technical competence and financial competence. It's a long process, and also it takes competent people, a competent team. Now we're putting this team together. This would allow us to basically make transactions of your payments through your physical cards, which we can use within our infrastructure, and it would bring some good additional extra profits to our system. Okay, I have a question about the cards. Will those be no-name cards? Yes, of course. No. Debit cards with names. Well, where are they going to be? I mean, there will be a controlling agency. I mean, this information could go somewhere about the holder. I mean, the issuing bank, you're going to buy it somewhere, I think, in an offshore state, together with its license. No, we're not considering offshore jurisdictions. It's going to be beautiful when it happens. No, I'm not diving into that. I just asked about the entrance investment for me, and it's something that could stay there for 30 years. What about ours? Like security, the security of our information. See, here we're talking about an infrastructure that involves lots of different teams and businesses. But you, as the shareholder, you will see that it's growing and developing. I mean, take it easy, our potential shareholders. It's like that deposit before and after. We're not selling a product now, but it feels like we're already selling cars now. We're telling you where we're going, what we're doing. And you will have to answer that also when they ask you questions about that. I mean, but will there be any information from the issuing bank? Will it go from this bank to anywhere else? It's hard to answer, but would you have an idea of the country where the bank will be? Could you ask your question again? Will our tax inspectorate get reports from your bank on any flows of Russian citizens, money flow of Russian citizens? Say the bank is in Switzerland. I mean, if you open a bank account in Switzerland, you have to submit information that you have an account there in Switzerland. But we've talked about that. There are some countries who do it automatically, and there are some countries who do it upon request. So now they're choosing the right model to make it convenient for clients. But if we're talking upon a request, then for that request to happen, you have to mess up real bad. Okay, we're done with processing and acquiring, and now it's your final part. What is it that you're creating? When I was puffing on that hookah, you said something that really sent me into raptures. Can you hear me? So basically, we are creating an all-in-one product where the whole infrastructure is closed and it's self-sufficient and it works for itself independently for the most part. From other services, it's completely diversified. You can rest assured that your funds will be safe, and because you can feel safe and concentrate on building your own business when you feel safe about the safety, about your money. Is that it? Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the night. Okay. Talk to you soon. Okay. So is our business meeting draws to a close. I would like to hear some questions, maybe answers from you about how you joined, how to pay for it, how to invest in it. We believe that we are going to raise at least 50 million rubles, and the profits from this sub-fund will finance all the processes around this, everything that you've heard about now. This was the head of this team. This is how you heard how he talks and how he handles things. I may miss some of the things that he says occasionally. So if you have any questions before I get back to work. The minimum deposit is how much? It starts with 100K. It's multipliable too. I really want it to be quick. We pool it together. What do you want to be quick? We wanted. Yesterday, I thought about this. Maybe 1 year and a half, but in 1 year and a half, we want all these things up and running. Like in 1 month, we will have the wallet, or in 3 months, we'll have the wallet, and then the cards of some bank where we hold a share. Then in the next 10 months, there will be some other thing. I mean, he's on the team of that, and during the next conferences, you will hear him say many things about that. And all the profits in that pool, like from transaction, from Bitcoin generation, from the generation of some other currencies, like all of that, all those exchanges. I mean, all the money that this legal entity makes, it will share all of its profits proportionately. So as the shareholder, or you will get a new perspective on markets, because now you're more like a sales manager. So if we do get a share, can we join just one project, or what? Or can we diversify? No, you have to. I mean, this project is, the entrance is 100K. The other one is also 100K. There may be projects with 50K. So in these projects, much like in the first one, the investors get to keep 23%. Yeah, so this is what we approved for now. This is like this average figure, which we would like to apply to most projects. I mean, 23% off of 1,000 rubles is one thing. 23% off of 1 billion rubles or dollars, it's different money. So now it's 50. But if it's 22% of the share or 24, I don't think it would change much. But if you get angry about it, you could take it back always, you know. So now we're working out the details. Soon we will give you a clear offer. First, I want to do this. It will be a real legal entity, a real fund in the Czech Republic, I think. It will be, I mean, so there's a foundation and there are sub-funds. And now we're putting together this virtual fund in Excel, where we understand that we have a fund, and then we will transfer you from this Excel, so to say, to the real fund. It takes a long time, takes lots of paperwork. You'll get your contracts which say that you are the owners of a share of that fund who have the right of title or claim to a portion or a share in that as defined by the contract. So if one of you basically joins it and pays for everything, say like gets that 23%, it could also be possible. So within the 23%, there is a fund that you own 100%. And this percent is within that 23%. You can fracture it, divide it into fractures, or sell some of your shares, but this investor share is always there. Within the fund, you can expand it, resell it, and two other things. So it will be basically legally protected. It will have legal grounds. So 23% is 50 million, or the profit of 50 million. And now we're going, however, work out how it will be refunded. But you said the whole fund is 100%. So 50 is how much of that? 50 is the virtual fund, and the profits there will form or shape the infrastructure. So 50 million is needed to make the whole project go ahead. So it would be great if that 50 million were refundable. So it would be like the same thing as with the minerals, or like the nano kit. You also said that as for the previous project, you said there would be some profitability. I mean, the gold project. What would be the profitability of that project? Imagine there being 1 million users. I mean, imagine how much money crypto wallets make. So it will all add up to one big thing. Great profits. Okay, another question. At the previous meeting, you said it was just 100K, but now if you want to take part in two projects, it can be like 150K. I think by February the 20th, I think, well, I will keep my word as the organizer of this investment process and lay it out, because this venture, but I assure you, this venture stuff is very great. So, would it be possible to withdraw, say, 50,000 ciphers off of your deposit or account, like CTI, that's already there, working, generating profits, so that it doesn't take 21 days? I mean, there is like that mechanics of withdrawal that we can't disrupt. But, I mean, what if you impose some bigger fee on that? I mean, yes, we will do it, but we have some deadlines that we have to keep, and I don't want to do that, what you ask. 98%, I mean, I don't think it will happen. 98%, I'll give you 98%. I'll give you two that it will happen, but it's only in hypothesis, and I don't think you should count on that. Okay? Please use a mic because we can't hear you. Tell me, please, about this. The gold project, it was before the 15th of February, the deadline, and now you moved it until the 20th of February. Yeah, see, you have to start somewhere. There will be a virtual fund where we will have where we will get a start, and then we will be working at the same time on the project to make or transfer this virtual money into real money. Another person, you will accept those payments in ciphers. Yes. Would it be possible to arrange it in bitcoins, and in order to avoid a 3.5% fee for depositing, because it would amount to quite a hefty sum, quite a hefty amount? We're going to talk about it, yes, we will take it under consideration, but I think Marat will get a 5% fee. Well, if you will help me. But if you're the shareholder of this 5%, maybe you could turn the math of that to your advantage. But yes, we will do it, because see, I mean, I think we will think of something, because maybe once the FNK goes to hits the stock, we will give a chance to deposit it in FNK. So you're like this mini Elon Musk. You say something and you change the rate of the token. Okay, any more questions? If there are no more questions, I'll tell you this. I think this business meeting has been a success, a big success. Thank you very much for taking the time. I'd like to repeat that. We can always dream of the future, but I hope that we also take the actions that will define our future. And I think we will be, in this case, more in the right than those who are just waiting for something. Thank you very much.
Superhuman. I'm not superhuman. Someone save me from the